This is a 2024 Chevrolet Equinox EV. This is the 2LT version and it's currently the most inexpensive electric car Chevrolet sells today. Today I'm going to show you some of the quirks and features of the Chevrolet Equinox, take it for a road trip, and then Listen, I'm not Doug DeMuro. He's an awesome guy. I admire what he's done. He hasn't reviewed this car yet. I just got it, so I figured I should give you guys a look around, but I'm not Doug. One second. Okay. Hi, my name is Darren. I'm a dad. I'm an airline pilot. I'm a husband of a scientist. I love electric cars. This is my current everyday car. I want to give you a tour around the vehicle, show you what I paid for it, and show you how range affects this car going on a road trip up to Oklahoma to the casino to waste some money and give money to the local community. This is a great electric car for those that don't want to have a vehicle that looks like an electric car. It's a solid family vehicle, and I think it's a great value for the money. So join me while I give you a tour around the vehicle. Let's start on the inside. I will not do a Doug DeMuro style video of the car. I've tried. He does a great job. I can't replicate what he does. He's an amazing guy. This is a view from a dad and an EV owner. So this is the interior. This is black and blue. You can see the blue accents on the doors. It goes from blue to black. This is on every single Equinox. It doesn't matter what color on the outside you get. I got blue on the outside, kind of matches blue on the inside. Seating for 5. I'm 5'10". I will show you in a cutout, but I can sit behind myself with plenty of legroom, no issues. 60/40 folding back seat, center armrest, 2 cup holders. There are 2 USB-C ports in the back and 2 air vents. They do a great job putting out air. 2 seat back pockets. Again, seats fold down. They're manual seats, of course, in this price segment. Fold down just fine, no issues. If you're a parent, finding these latch anchors in some cars can be a hassle. This car, super easy to get to, and you're done. There are no other frills in the back seat. On this 2LT version, there are no rear heated seats. You have to go to the 3LT to get rear heated seats. They do include the roof rails standard. They're chrome on this car. It's fine. As far as the front seat goes, you can see this how it does have this accent lighting kind of thing. I forgot what they call it, but it changes colors. I'll show you some B-roll. It goes several different colors. It's a nice feature to have, right? Again, these panels are normally blue. I'll show you some of that as well in the B-roll. Blue panel, but in the daytime, in darkness, you can see the illumination of the panel on the door, the dash, and on the other side, it is illuminated as well. And again, it does change color. As you can see, the blue accent here, again, I think it's fine in a blue color car. In a red car, it looked really weird. If you get the 2RS version, the sporty version, it has red accents on the dash and red accents inside the car, but no actual sport enhancements. I think that's kind of silly to have a sporty car with no enhancements. Continuing on, one thing I like about this interior, also from the Bolt, this lower storage area, you can put anything you want down there, purses for women, crap for men, whatever. It works very well. Again, continuing on the interior, as far as storage goes, this is a wireless charger, not turned on. I don't know why they didn't turn it on, but there is a charger under there from all I've seen online. They just didn't activate it. There are 2 USB-C ports up front, nice high amperage, charge my phones very quickly. Center storage under the armrest. This little cubby hole comes out. It's a pretty deep well down there. There is no charging down there, just a light, but it is a nice storage area. The rear view mirror is not a screen, it's a normal rear view mirror. I say that because in the Chevrolet Bolt, they did have a digital screen for a rear view mirror. Beyond that, very basic interior. The steering wheel on the left side is cruise control. On the right side is the assistant button. Now, if you hold it down lightly, it's for the car. You hold it down more firmly, it is for whatever smartphone you have attached to the car. I have an iPhone and Android. They both work very well. To the right of that is a music button. You can change what kind of audio source you want. And below that is, to the right, is they change the screens on the center instrument cluster. There's 4 different screens you can use. They work very well. And then there is a heated steering wheel button. Heated steering wheel is standard on all versions so far. It is 2LT and above. On this version, you only get front heated seats. On 3LT, you get heated and cooled seats, memory seats, and some other stuff. But this is 2LT. This is the base version of the car I'm showing you. As far as the seat material, these are black seats. Look a little bit lighter, but they are black. They're not leather. On the outside is a cloth material-ish. On the center side is a leather-ish material. Of course, it's vinyl. They work great. I don't get hot or cold on these seats. They're great as far as this price segment goes. I have no need to sit on dead animals. But now I will show you what the interior looks like with the screens turned on. So again, one thing I like about Chevrolet Equinox is there is no on button. You get in, you sit down, and the car is on. That's it. Nice and peaceful. This is one of the center screens you can look at. Oh, good. Nice to see you more. This is a very basic center instrument cluster. You have other options here, right? You can go to this one that has, you can change what's on the left side or the right side. I have the current trip information, and then I have the audio on the right-hand side of this one. Then there's one that has like an RPM gauge for how much power you're using. It's interesting. This one is Google Maps, and I'm blurring out where I live because you people are weird, but Google Maps, and this is great to have because you can have Google Maps on this screen, and over here you can have your entertainment. So great having that option. I also like showing you what seatbelts are plugged in right now. Even the door open. I mean, this is a very well thought out EV. This is like on the highway. If you can see what cars are ahead of you. Again, this car does not have Super Cruise. I don't need it. This is a commuter car for me, and it's a great commuter car. And then get back to the more simple screen. You notice there's a stalk on the left-hand side. It's for front and rear wipers. There is no headlight stalk, right? Headlights in newer Chevy vehicles, I've noticed, at least in the touchscreens, are controlled by the touchscreen. Again, leave it in auto, it works. You don't need to complicate things, right? On the left-hand side over here, you have the parking brake, the lane keep assist, auto hold for not having to hold the brake at a stoplight, rear hatch, and then dimmer for the instrument cluster. Power locks, power windows, auto up on the driver side. As far as the center goes, you do have physical controls for the AC. I think it's almost unnecessary, but because these controls down here are they're persistent. They're always there, so you know, it's just right there. Whatever, it's fine. Again, no Apple CarPlay, no Android Auto, but I don't miss either one of those features. This works just fine. I use YouTube Music. Now, if you use Apple Music, that'll be an issue for you because you have to use Bluetooth for your audio. You can't control anything at all. I think maybe the track up and down, but you won't see the artist or anything else on the screen. So, for Apple Music, bummer, but they have Spotify. I use Pocket Cast for my podcast. I'm a pilot. I like my radar. It's a neat app to have. This is for route planning. This a lot of EV users use this app. It can be better than the in-car app for planning. This is to find local plugs around. Charging app. Again, look how fast the screen is. This screen is iPhone fast. The cameras, very good. 360 camera is standard. Of course, you're seeing this in my front garage. I'll show a better video. But the cameras are crisp, they're clean, and they work very well. Again, base model right now, 2LT, has a 360 camera. Google Assistant, Play Store, there's lots of apps here. There's not every app, right? But they have lots of other music apps, some I've never even heard of. They have news, weather, everything you need while driving, it's here. There are no video apps, of course, because you can't look at that while driving. The screen is pretty customizable. You can have music and maps, tire pressure, whatever you want. I mean, you can change how the screen is configured to a point, as well as any app you want on the top of the screen you can change. So I can take Spotify, if I don't want Spotify up here, oops, and it will stay up on this top row. Oh, I have to take one down. That's why. There it goes. And it'll stay up there. It's persistent. I can swap devices. So right now you can see my Pixel 9 is attached. My iPhone is not because I'm using it to film this video. And Pixel went away. There's notifications about the car. 5G connection. It does have Wi-Fi connected to my home Wi-Fi. I don't know what's that connected right now. Weather. I'm sorry, the outside temperature and the clock. But that's the center screen. One thing I do like about this center screen, it has a physical volume knob. And it's just attached to the touchscreen, but you can move it up and down. It has a little animation. So it's nice having an actual knob for volume versus having to touch some slider somewhere. What else about this? So the AC in this car works extremely well. I like being able to start my car via my phone and have it cool down just fine. You can also turn on the heated seats remotely as well. I I have had no problem staying cool in this car. Glove box, nothing major. Standard size glove box. Door pockets, and that rounds out the front of the car. Cup holders are good size. You can put your phone here while charging. Not an issue. That is the interior of the Chevrolet Equinox EV. One more thing, this does have the exterior noise, so you put it in gear, and you can hear that noise it makes. It helps people, pedestrians especially, they know you're around anyway. It's an issue in parking lots when they don't hear you coming. And that cannot be turned off. As far as cargo, there is no frunk up front. It's just under there. It's just an engine. Again, I can show you in the B-roll. But there's an engine up front, or motor up front. Sorry, no engine, no motor up front. Back, cargo space is fine. This is a standard carry-on bag. You can easily leave it 2 across, maybe 1 more, even more vertical. This is not standard. This is for my Hyundai Ioniq 5. It happens to fit this car because I load a lot of cargo in the back. There is an optional, didn't get it, cargo cover. I don't think you need it. The tint is pretty dark. But if you live parked on the street, maybe you do need it. Now, lifting up the trunk area, you can see a little well down here. You can put more stuff. I have my shopping bags. Then there is the charging cable that comes standard. It's a dual. It's 220 or 110. Left-hand side is tire sealant. I do not have run flat tires, and I do not have self-sealing tires on the 19-inch wheels. Get 21s. They are self-sealing tires per se. So that is the quick overview of the Chevrolet Equinox EV. Now we're going on a road trip to Oklahoma to see the miles displayed. I'm starting with 395 miles, driving 76 miles there, and seeing what I get as far as displayed when I arrive in Oklahoma. Then I'll come back and then I'll show you the entire results of the video. So, driving the Equinox EV. First, it is a very, very quiet vehicle to drive. Right now, you're not hearing a lot of background noise, are you? It's extremely quiet to drive. And smooth and comfortable. Now, you will not win any stoplight races, period. You might get them 0 to 20, 0 to 30, but beyond that, you're not going to win. And it's fine. That is not the intent of this vehicle. They offer the 2RS version that looks sporty, and all it gives you really is 21-inch wheels and some black accents and some red accents on the inside, which I'm not a fan of. The blue accents inside this car, which I'm going to show you, I'm not a huge fan of, but they're better than the red accents, in my opinion. If you're going to offer a sporty vehicle, it should have something to back it up versus just looks. That's just me. But the seating height is good. The hip height, getting in and out on 47, is good and comfortable. Again, it is a very competent car, a very well thought out car. One thing I appreciate about, everything but a Tesla, again, I've owned 4 Teslas total, 2 Model X's we've had, and I currently have one, and we had a Model 3 Performance, and now we have a Model Y long range. Every other car but a Tesla, the range you see is about what you get. I'm doing this road trip right now. I expect to get there. I had a 76-mile distance. I should get there with around 215 miles of range left. In a Tesla, that would not be the case. And it's no matter how I drive. I do like to drive like an old man. I don't speed. I can drive the speed limit the entire way there, and the range I get at the end will not be the range that I should have had on a Tesla. Otherwise, I still like Teslas overall. I would never take this car on a road trip because I don't trust the charging network. That's going to change soon when they get the NACS plug. But for now, I've driven to the Oklahoma border before and tried to use Electrify America and been frustrated. So the other cars aren't there yet for road trips. It's coming. This car will get a NACS adapter and it'll have a NACS plug going forward. I would not let that hold me back from buying it right now. If you are in the market for a car right now, I have no qualms about buying this car. Even if I need to take road trips, the adapter's coming. And right now, the deals are so good that I wouldn't pass up the current incentives, especially if you want to just try it. A 2-year lease in this car, right? Now, I guess I'll get into it now as I'm talking about it. This car stickered for this much money. The sales price was this much money. I'm paying this much money over 2 years. That breaks down to this much per month. How did I get to this number? I am not some magic person, right?
I work for an airline. My airline is a GM supplier. Many companies are GM suppliers. That gave me a $1,000 discount. Now, my biggest discount was I previously leased a Chevrolet Bolt. I turned it in March of this year. That gave me, I think, $3,000. Yeah, off. And at the time I got this car, I leased a Hyundai Ioniq 5. That got me another $1,500. So all together it was $5,500 in incentives toward this lease. This is a stupid cheap car to lease. I can't. This is not a free car, but it's really, really cheap. Um, 187 per month. Some people spend that much in gas. So if you're looking for a cheap car, this could be it. Now, the big negative of it is I got these numbers because they raised the residual to 80%, right, in 2 years. This car will not be worth 80% in 2 years. The buyout price is this. I will not be paying this much money for this car in 2 years. It won't be worth it, right? Now, if they offer it to me for, say, $25,000, I could buy this car used, right, to be my own car. But the 2-year lease for $187 per month, even at, if you didn't get all the incentives, even at $300 a month, $250 a month, zero down, it's a very competent car. I have no problem recommending this car. But I'm on the road trip, so let's see how I get at the other end. All right.
So I mentioned before I didn't get Super Cruise. It's a lot of money. It's like $2,700. I don't think it's worth it for a commuter car, but if you drive a lot on the highway, it could be worth it for you. Yeah, it does have adaptive cruise control, and that's great for driving in traffic anyway. I drove 77.9 miles, and I had 205 miles displayed of range left, meaning I used 12 more miles than I actually drove. But I had a headwind on the way there. It wasn't great efficiency, and I think it has to do with the headwind. On the way back, I did a lot better. But first, I'm going to go inside and do some gambling. And I am now $100 lighter in the pockets. I gave some money to the local community. Walking back to the car, again, it has a great presence. It doesn't scream, I'm an EV. It just screams, I am a blue, midsize, compact, crossover vehicle. I think it looks great, though. Again, the door handles, it could be an issue in the winter in the ice, but for me, it's not an issue. Now, on the way out of the parking lot, you can see the blue on the door versus the blue of the ambient lighting, and the light blue of the door and the dash. It's a nice effect. I just wish they offered more than just blue, because if you have a red car, it just looks weird. I just stopped in a parking lot for a quick exterior photo shoot. Again, I think the outside has lots of details. It could have been a very boring feature on the outside, but they actually gave it some nice looks. Like, as these nice high sills on the side to protect from rock chips and anything you run over. The back has nice little like diamond plating around the license plate. Full LED with lights. They do a little small dance on the LT, a bigger dance on the RS version, I'm told. But good looking headlights. Nice high brake lights. Rear wiper, important. My Ioniq 5 did not have a rear wiper. The wheels, they're big, chunky tires, right? But they give a smooth ride. This is not a sporty car. But again, the headlights are actually little units down there. It's like carbon fiber around the headlights, but it's probably just plastic. But again, it's not just boring black plastic. It's textured, pretty heavy-duty plastic they put around the headlights. Speaking of headlights, I did shoot a short video of the headlights in my garage. The headlights are the lower units on each side, but it has a full-width light bar on top. Pretty distinctive. You can get a lightish Chevrolet badge if you want to, but I don't think it's needed. I think the stock look looks great. It is distinctive. One thing I'm glad they have is a manual charging port door, unlike the Blazer. This is fine. A little cheap plug for the CCS, but it's fine. Speaking of that plug, though, it is illuminated for nighttime view. If you have an EV at nighttime, it's very appreciated. Also interesting, 6 lug wheels. That's not normal for compact crossovers. Anyways, I drove back the same way, 77.1 miles driven, 3.7 miles per kilowatt hour because I had a tailwind. That was an average of 3.3 for the round trip to and from. And the magic of editing, I'm already back in Oklahoma. 3.3 miles per kilowatt hour used. Pretty good average. Headwind there, tailwind back. Not bad overall. I'm comfortable with that, especially going 75 miles an hour. The faster you go, especially over 60 miles an hour, the more resistance you get. True in a gas car as well. Solid range contender, solid car, great exterior styling, great interior styling. It doesn't scream EV, except for the little blue E down here. It's an Equinox. Of course, it shares nothing with the actual gas Equinox except for the name. The name is all it shares. There's no parts shared between the vehicles. Will I buy this car again? Absolutely. In fact, I'm hoping in 2 years, when my kid turns 16, I can score one of these for the low 20s. It's a solid car. Again, I had a Hyundai Ioniq 5. It was also a great car. It was too much for what I needed. I just needed a point A to point B car. This is a great point A to point B car. Solid, reliable, everyday car. Chevrolet Equinox EV. This is not my normal video. Normally I do aviation stuff, but this is my airport car. I have two cars. I like having two cars. I like having a normal car and a fun car. This is my normal car.
Quick pause. Doug DeMuro, I truly respect what you do even more now. It is very hard to show off a vehicle. I had so many takes, so much footage no one's ever going to see. This is incredibly difficult. This is not my normal genre. I will go back to my aviation stuff, guys, I promise. But Doug, even more respect. Love what you do. Okay, finish the video, Darren.
And that's it. Have a great day, and as always, thank you for stopping by.